How's it going, YouTube? My name's Ninja7, your resident Mistweaver monk, and if you have not seen yet, there are some more talent changes coming our way for the War Within. I know some people aren't keeping up with the War Within, but I promise you that so far it's been nothing but excitement. These talents that they're introducing are like genius. Honestly, I'm so looking forward to playing Mistweaver in the War Within. So let's go ahead and start off with a couple things that are changing. So first things first, one of the talents in the hero talent conduit of the Celestials affects Mistweaver, so we might as well talk about it. Flight of the Red Crane will now give you a stack of Mana Tea, and then this has to do with Windwalkers, but we're just going to be getting more stacks of Mana Tea. That's always awesome. And then as we move down to the stuff that actually affects or impacts just Mistweaver, okay, so we have a new talent. Pool of Mists. So Renewing Mist will now have 3 charges instead of its 2, and it reduces the remaining cooldown of Rising Sunkick by 1 second. Rising Sunkick will now reduce the remaining cooldown of Renewing Mist by 1 second. I'm guessing that this only has to do with 1 charge, but basically you're going to be pressing your 3 Renewing Mist charges, and then Rising Sunkicking to extend them all with Rising Mist, and then to get a second off of the timer again, and then each time that you press your Renewing Mist, it's going to take a second off of your Rising Sunkick. Very cool. I don't know if we're going to hardcore play around this. I think there will be a lot of playing around this talent, particularly for end game, high-end mythic rating. But for the most part, this is just sick and could, if you just ignore it, like in Mythic Plus, we'll probably not play around this. But because we'd rather Blackout Kick for the chance of resetting Rising Sun Kick, which also does damage itself, than just pressing Renewing Mist a bunch of times trying to get that Rising Sun Kick off cooldown. But honestly, this is a pretty sick talent, and I see it being very powerful and leading to a lot of healing that happens in the background, just all of your Vivifies cleaving onto more targets, for example, that kind of thing. Okay, but then Teachings of the Monastery is now a baseline effect. This is massive. It was kind of already shifting that way in the first place, but your Tiger Palms stacking up your Blackout Kick, and then your Blackout Kick having a chance to reset Rising Sun Kick cooldown, it just makes sense that that's baseline. So huge bonus. That's insane. This is just an issue. They're looking to fix it, so no point in going over that. Refreshing Jade Wind, though. This was my favorite talent. Like hands down, favorite button to press in all of Shadowlands, and now it's a ghost. It's a ghost of its former self. It barely does any healing while you press it. And yes, you press it now and gain value over time, but if you would have pressed a Vivify instead of pressing this button when you do, that Vivify would have done more healing in most cases than this Refreshing Jade Wind would have ever done. Which all that means is that this button is basically never really worth pressing, so it has been redesigned. Thank God, I missed this effect. So Thunder Focus Tea summons a whirling tornado around you, causing healing over 8 seconds to up to 5 allies within 10 yards. I hope that since now it's going to be a passive effect now, it's just an added bonus to your Thunder Focus Tea, kind of like how Yulon's Whisper is. You know, you breathe out that breath every time that you drink your Thunder Focus Tea. I hope they don't gut the healing that it does now that it's passive, but this is sick, okay? They knew it was never worth pressing. They knew a lot of people didn't like pressing it when it was worth pressing, so they just took its effect and made it passive. I like it. And then I was wondering how this would work with Yulon's Whisper, but Yulon's Whisper is also being redesigned. Once again, when you drink your Thunder Focus Tea, you're just exhaling a breath for a few seconds that's going to heal people in front of you. But now it says, while channeling your Mana Tea, you're going to exhale Breath of Yulon, healing up to 5 allies within 15 yards every half second. So every 1 stack of Mana Tea will convert to 2 ticks of this healing. I'm pretty sure this is going to heal for a little bit, because this sounds really strong. If it still heals for the amount that it heals right now, although it's just not worth taking right now in its current state. But if you could channel like 20 stacks, or you think of how much we channel Mana Tea for a few breaths over time in a raid environment right now, this is insane. But I don't think it's going to be broken. It sounds better than it probably will be. It's one of those talents. It's just you think it's going to be good, and then you actually play it, and Yulon's Whisper always disappoints. But moving on to Chi Harmony. We know that we're getting this basically in our talent tree, or basically baseline. It's being taken off of our gear and put into our kit now. It has been redesigned. Okay. So Renewing Mist increases its target's healing received from you by 50% for the first 8 seconds of its duration, but cannot jump to a new target during this time. Interesting. So your Renewing Mist is locked into this target for 8 seconds. I can see this might even be a good thing. No, I don't think this could ever be a good thing, because if you fully top up that person, you're just slamming Vivifies, and there's like 4 seconds left on your Chi Harmony, and you want that Renewing Mist to bounce to someone else, so your Vivify will cleave onto someone who actually needs the healing. That's when this is bad. But if that person is still taking rot damage, you get them to full, and then they take another tick, but that Renewing Mist hopped off, that could be a bad instance that this would have been a good thing to have. But this is weird. I don't think I like this, if I'm being honest. But let's read what the devs say, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure they are cooking. They're always cooking. So we're making an adjustment to Chi Harmony to cut down on the amount of active auras on frames now that now that it's here to stay as a talent. What? Okay. Renewing Mist will have a new icon indicating when its Chi Harmony healing increase is active, and it will swap back to its original icon when Chi Harmony's window ends. We'd love to hear feedback on this, as we'd like to the redesign to have as minimal impact as possible and mostly be focused on quality of life and long-term sustainability. Okay, so from what I'm gathering here is they're saying that on our nameplates, on our frames, like when I go to click on an ally's health bar, but I have all of my HOTS on that person, it's just taking too much of that person's frame. Because they have Renewing Mist, Chi Harmony, they could have like, I guess Essence Font won't be a problem, so we don't have to worry about that. They could have Enveloping Mist on them, Soothing Mist on them, and now they don't want them to also have Chi Harmony. So basically, your Chi Harmony and Renewing Mist is going to have the same icon on nameplates until that Chi Harmony buff goes away. Then it's just going to become the current Renewing Mist. I don't like this, okay, because they're saying this won't have too much of an impact, but it's mostly here for quality of life. But like I said, in our raid playstyle, when we're playing around Invigorating Mists, we need these Renewing Mists to jump to new people, because we are currently we're gonna stick to the same pair. I don't know if we really will. I also don't even know if we're gonna play Yu'lon, so it's just hard to read. But I do know that we're gonna be doing a lot of Vivify cleaving, even with a Chi-Ji build. You'd be surprised how many times you cast Yu'lon. I'm sorry, how many times you cast Vivify, not Yu'lon. What? But yeah, you want these Renewing Mist jumping to targets that need the healing. I don't care about it taking up more space on my nameplates. That's just me personally, or I guess my player frames. In fact, I just don't think that that's an issue, especially since Essence Font's being taken out. I don't know, but maybe they want to add more buffs that we're going to track in its place. But yeah, this to me sounds very weird, because I mean, literally, you could always disable you seeing people's like buffs. You can disable Chi Harmony if you really want to, if it's taking up that much space. I don't know about this one, Chief. I don't know. But hey, trust in the devs. They know what they're doing. All right, Crane Style has moved to Teachings of the Monastery's previous location. So Crane Style is the one that basically gives your Rising Sun Kick the Chi-Ji buff. So your Rising Sun Kick will now kick up 2 Gusts of Mists, 2 Mastery procs to heal your allies, and your Blackout Kick and your Blackout Kick and Spinning Crane Kick have a chance to do the same, but just 1 proc of it. But since they're making Teachings of the Monastery baseline, that does free up a talent point, so that just makes sense. And then finally, Misty Peaks now has a 4 to 8% chance to activate, and now extends Enveloping Mist on targets if Enveloping Mist is present. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Misty Peaks right now, isn't it like a 2.5 to 5% chance to proc? Maybe I have that wrong, but that looks like an increase to the chance it's going to proc, which is good. Unless I'm wrong, then you can ignore what I just said. But then, so basically what Misty Peaks is while you're Renewing Mist tick, they'll occasionally just proc a very short duration, like 1 or 2 ticks of an Enveloping Mist on that person. So all this is saying is that if this procs and it tries to proc on someone that already has an Enveloping Mist, it's just going to add the time that Misty Peaks would add on top of the pre-existing Enveloping Mist on them. So if there's 6 seconds of an Enveloping Mist that you just apply to them, And then Misty Peaks procs, trying to put like 1 or 2 seconds, however long it is, on top of that. It'll just stack on top of the pre-existing enveloping mist. Very cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have to test this. It's gonna be very hard to test, but see how this works with like Rising Mist if I can, if I ever get into the War Within alpha. But yeah, I want to see how it extends, how it works with extending versus Rising Mist, if it gets in the way of that buff extension, or if it just kind of becomes negligible, or what happens there. But all in all, pretty sick changes. I do think that they did not fully think this one through. The Renewing Mist bouncing is very important. Very important for our healing. We would much rather we would much rather not have our hots stay or have our buffs stay on a full health target than having one less buff on our nameplates. Or you guys know what I'm trying to say. That to me just sounds not very good, not very well thought out. But maybe there's a purpose for it that I'm just missing. If there is, let me know down in the comments below. And by the way, guys, this is all my opinion on these. This is my first time reading these, so go easy on me. I might have gotten something wrong or just forgotten about another change that they've implemented, because there's been so many. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I am currently out of town, so these are pre-recorded and will be posted at weird times. So if you already knew this information, I really appreciate you watching anyways and supporting the channel. I kind of was strong-armed into uploading this in whatever order I uploaded in, just because I'm on vacation. But thank you guys for supporting the channel. Nonetheless, I really appreciate you guys. And speaking of appreciation, I really appreciate those of you who have supported my Patreon. That is what keeps this channel going. It really does. So thank you so much if your name is on the screen. And guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, by the way, the link to this and to my Patreon will be down in the description below, so check that out. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.